Nate, you look very straight today.
Thank you, I guess. I kind of broke one of the biggest rules a broadcaster can do, really.
Yeah.
I wore green.
Yeah, it's a cardinal sin.
Yeah, I totally forgot. I thought I looked really cute even, and someone complimented me on the street out of nowhere, and I was just so happy about it.
Yeah.
She really went out of her way to do so.
She did. I honestly think you should have kept it on, keyed out, so it was just a head, some arms, and some legs.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I could say you look very gay today, Harriet. But I love it, though, is the thing. I love all the pops of color. I love colors, but we're giving off kind of an opposites attract vibe today, I think. I'm in black and white, and I think you're a Technicolor.
Yeah.
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 So, at least there's a concept, right?
Well, hi, welcome back to Can't Think Straight. I'm Harriet.
And I'm Nate. Join us today as we interview two very special, talented artists and students of App State.
Yeah, today this episode will be about Jade Bass and Ramona Barton.
Yes, Ramona is one of our great friends who's also in the EMB program, and she actually has a band where it's just her, and it's called Peach Rings, and we get to interview her about her music making process, and it was really, really fun and exciting.
Yeah, and then with Jade, we'll be learning what she does. She's very fashion forward, knows a lot about fashion, but also in the DJ scene here in Boone. So excited to learn about that. Very music oriented today.
I think it is. I love it though. I love music so much. I love local artists especially, and I think it's great that we can find a couple people who, you know, we like to hang out with a little bit. We know them a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think this episode will be especially fun.
Absolutely. All right, Nate, let's get this interview started.
Yes, starting with Ramona. Introduce yourself for us, please.
Yeah, my name is Ramona Barton. I'm a senior at Appalachian State University. I make music as the name Peach Rings, and welcome to my crib. So when I'm writing music, I definitely I'm kind of shameless, and I will just totally rip from things I like. I'll hear a song and be like, I want to make something that sounds exactly like that. But it's really hard to copy people completely. So I'll do that with 12 different things. I'm like, oh, I want to have this metal rock riff, but oh, I just heard this JPEG Mafia song and I really like the beat in it, and I want to try and combine those two things. And it never comes out sounding like either of those two things, but it usually makes a new kind of baby that I like. So I usually do that when creating the instrumental part, but when it comes to writing lyrics, I always just try to write close to home, I guess. I hate when artists write about stuff that means nothing to them. Not you have to bare your soul in every song you make, but it's don't lie. I feel even when I write a song that's not a direct experience, I still want it to be personal to me. When I started in 2020 and I was making music, it was very much a COVID thing. I had just come back from a trip to New York. Over spring break 2020, I went to New York with the App State Print Club, and we got back right as COVID was everything was shutting down, and my parents were actually out of town because they had been on a trip. So I was perfect, I'll just isolate in my dad's apartment. And so I just told myself, I was okay, I have a week and a half left of this home alone period. So I'm just gonna write and record as many songs as possible, and I'll release it at the end. And if I'm not done, then I have to release it anyways, because that's the goal I'm setting myself. So that became Home Alone 6, and it was super scrappy. Which now they've made a Home Alone 6. At the time that was funny because there wasn't a Home Alone 6, but then they made one last year, so now it's do I update the name? But but I was super scrappy. I recorded it on my iPhone. I literally set my phone on top of that amp, which that amp sounds like dog crap. And I just played, and then I tapped little drums with my fingers on the iPhone GarageBand app, and I recorded it with Apple earbud headphones in my car, and it somehow came out okay. It's definitely not amazing sounding, but it came together pretty well, I have to say. Then I moved into this apartment where I live with my roommate Micah, who also makes music, and he kind of helped me produce and make things better. And so I made my next EP October again. and it sounded better, but it still wasn't what I was completely going for, because like, I don't know, I'm trying to sound big, well produced, like, not that Mike is a great producer, but like, it's hard to capture a live rock setting on a laptop with one person and one guitar. So it's definitely something I've been figuring out, and like, I'm getting better at like self-producing a little bit, but I'm also working with my 2 internet friends, Beth and Kenny, who Beth makes music as Tape Girl and Kenny makes music as K-Moy, and they're really big in the ska scene, but they're also really, really good at recording on laptops. So I'm working with them to make my album right now. So some common themes that like I've been trying to capture like in my music and like my work is like, I want to write about like trans things, which is like, I don't know, I sometimes feel kind of annoyed because I think like as a trans woman, like people want me to only write about those things. So there can be like this kind of back and forth of like, I want to write about this personal struggle of like gender dysphoria, or write about like queer love songs that were about trans people, because like there still needs to be more, but there are songs about like cis gay men and like cis gay women and like stuff like that. But I feel like trans and non-binary people are not super represented in like a lot of music. And while I make like sad emo songs, I also like to write like catchy little pop rock songs. And I wanted to write cute things that about, or like, I don't know, I wanted to capture like the experience of being queer in like a field that I feel like is not super queer. So I definitely don't shy away from like comedic elements in my music, but I also do want it to be personal and like connect with me. I think I'm both a very introspective and sad person, but also someone who is like annoying and funny. And I like to include both of those things. So like, I don't know, like you mentioned my Minecraft EP, and like I like retool some of those songs were already released, and I rewrote some of the lyrics to be about Minecraft, because I was like, I feel like that's way more fun. Like I want like, even though like I will write songs that like are super sad, my like Spotify bio is like, you can cry or dance to. It's like, I don't want people to leave my music feeling miserable. I like some artists that make me feel that way, but I didn't want to be one of those artists. And so I wanted to include just like fun elements. I'm currently working on a song where I'm trying to put a soundbite of Markiplier in it. Just cause like, and then like it's immediately followed by like lyrics about like horrendous transphobia. So I don't know if that's like a weird thing to pitch, but like I want like there to be like this rawness and this vulnerability for sure, and like connect with the themes I'm trying to write about like introspection and gender and like relationships and like how people perceive you. But I also want people to have fun listening to it. I definitely like the music I listen to. There's a record by Origami Angel, which is one of my favorite bands. Their second album, it's called Gami Gang. And like the songs are like these super awesome, like emo kind of mathy songs. But then like in between them, there'll be like a Star Wars clip or like a clip from like Jimmy Neutron. And it's like, it's a lot of fun, and it like ties the songs together, but it like is a moment of levity. I think my biggest takeaway from starting Peach Rings is that you should just like, this sounds so cheesy, but you should just make stuff, because like I definitely always told myself I wasn't good enough at guitar. I didn't have the equipment. I was too broke to buy like a nice amp or nice pedals or something like that. And like, then I made something with my iPhone, and by all means, I think it kind of sounds like garbage, but my most popular songs on Spotify are like all from that. Like those are the ones that resonated with people. And I think like, I don't know what I did, but people seem to really resonate with that. And so like, I'm really glad that I like got myself out there. And it also made me feel a lot more confident in myself, because I've been like writing music since I was like, since I was like 12. And like, those songs were really bad. And I was just like, okay, I'm probably just bad at writing things. I'm just never going to release anything. And then I forced myself to release something. And once you put like one baby out in the world, you're able to have another one. That's not a good analogy, but don't have babies, they're bad. But you're gonna like label me Ramona Barton, anti-baby. No, but I think like it becomes a lot easier to create art, and like, I don't know. I've also been able to grow because I can look back at something and be like, okay, I've done this before. How can I do something else? Instead of just like working endlessly in my room and tinkering. And like, you can mess with something forever, but if you just put it out, people are gonna like it. And you might not think so, but someone's gonna like it, and it's gonna mean a lot to you, and then you'll wanna make more. and then you just keep making babies.
Nate, I would consider you very fashion forward.
Thank you so much. That means a
Not
lot.
right now, though.
Oh, well, of course.
Yes, but like,
I can agree with that. I can, but thank you. That actually does mean a lot. I do consider you as well a very fashionable person.
oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you.
I mean, we can always just talk about inspirations if you want.
Yeah. What are you? Who are your style icons, inspiration?
To be honest, I have a few reference points, but they all lead to Pokemon protagonists. I think especially the ones from the late 90s and early 2000s are very, very beautiful to me because there is this sense of Y2K being implemented as well as still referencing back to how the protagonist will be in nature and be active. It's very athletic, outdoor, but still very fashionable. And I really love that.
Yeah, I also really love, I don't really know who my set inspirations are, but I really love Warpcore, which is like hiking and like outside, very much Yukon Cornelius from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yes. His mustache.
His mustache. But yeah, I think I love cargo pants.
I recently started getting into cargo pants.
And I also love my Blundstones. I know that's very basic. Love Blundstones, love Doc Martens. I mean, but I can always appreciate someone, going out of fashion norms.
Yes, taking risks.
Taking risk, and I appreciate that. Yeah.
I mean, I can definitely think of someone who will be on this episode who always challenges fashion norms.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about as well. Our very own Jade Bass.
Yes.
We love her. Love seeing her.
Yes, fashion icon.
And she's also in the DJ world around here in Boone. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, so let's go ahead and hop right into that.
Yes, after this short break though.
Yep, so don't go anywhere.
Don't.
Hello, can you just, introduce yourself and tell us who you are?
Hello, my name is Jade. I am currently a freshman at Appalachian State University. My major is computer science, and along with doing all that, I DJ, and I am into fashion, whether it comes to history or, just basic knowledge of it. What I like about computer science is it's sort of another way to create stuff. Like, if I want to make a website, if I want to make a software that does a certain thing, if I want to make a video game, it's like another way to just be creative in general. When I was about 12, 11 in Germany, I was in a technology class, and I guess that was like my first big introduction into computer science. It wasn't like anything too complicated. It was like write cat, dog, and that animal would do like a certain thing, or like, it'd go a certain place. So I guess that's like a good introduction. And then it would lead on to like, what I am into now, such as like coding in Python or Java. I was there from 2012 to 2016. Both my parents are now retired military, but we were deployed there. And just like, I feel like Germany was ultimately like the start of everything I'm into today, such as like DJing and fashion, because just seeing a different culture and how they like their rave culture, their like fashion culture, their engineering, everything like about it really just kind of, I was really gravitated towards it as like a younger kid, being like, I think 9 to 12, 13 years old. I wish I was this age now and I was going with it because I could do a lot more. But like being there as a kid, I could do such limited things, but I still was able to experience so much, such as like going to Berlin, going to like this massive like indoor tropical island that's kind of near Berlin, playing soccer with like having that bond with like other people. I was very into soccer back in Germany. So there was like, I could play soccer with people who spoke almost no English and I spoke very little German. Like we had that bond of enjoying soccer. So like that's another thing that like I really picked up in Germany, that you can like, even if you guys like see something differently or like don't really speak the same language, you can really bond over certain things.
I know you said that Germany was kind of where you started getting into this DJing world. So what made you want to do it?
So I really don't tell a lot of people this, but like I guess I'll have to like, it'll come out eventually. I was very into My Little Pony when I was younger, which probably explains a lot about me nowadays, but I was very into My Little Pony, and anyone who's aware of My Little Pony is aware of the DJ My Little Pony. So that was like getting into like EDM, knowing about like Skrillex and all that, I guess that's like a really good introduction. And then I think the last year we lived there, when we were about to move, I asked my dad for a Hercules DJ Instinct mixer, and I would consider that like the start of like DJing. Like honestly, I started DJing before I really started producing. Before I had my first like keyboard, I had my first mixer. So like focusing on DJ is like a lot more important personally.
So, who are your inspirations or role models?
I'll have to say a lot of the New York DJs, such as like Ant Puke. It's a lot more artist based more than DJ based. There are a bunch of DJs who I enjoy, like K Tronada, Robert Hood, Juan Atkins. That's all I can think of now. But like, there's plenty of like inspiration. A lot of them as well being like, oh, Sophie, Arca. A lot of like queer and like black people who like I really enjoy DJing. Like, there's a collective in New York called Club Carry, and a lot of them are heavy inspirations for me personally, just because like they're doing what I want to do, and them doing it shows that I can really do it. That I can probably like move back to New York and like end up doing what I really want to do for like a living.
I love that. So, how are some ways that we can support you in your DJ work?
Come out to my shows in Boone, for starters. Spread my name at like other schools. Like, if you ever need a DJ, if you don't want to like do a certain event, if you want to do a pop up, like, you know, you don't like, sometimes like money isn't like, if you want to do like a little queer pop up and like you need some background music, you can obviously like text me, DM me, reach out to me, be like, hey, do you want to DJ this event? Do you want to like DJ here? And I'll be like, sure, love to. You can find me on Instagram at Cunt Desgarcons, CUNNTDESGARCONS. Instagram, SoundCloud, Twitter. And as of now, I haven't released any music because just too busy with school and everything. But I do plan on like working on it over the summer, so stay tuned for that. It'll also be the same name, so. But yeah, like along with like just like DJing, I'm very into like fashion, especially like, you know, these exaggerated toe shoes. So like if you want to, we can check out my closet.
That sounds like an excellent idea. Let's check that out right after this short break.
AppTV's gaming news channel is back for Season 8. Pixel Peek is your source for the latest gaming news, reviews, gameplay, and much more. Be sure to check out our new season bi-weekly at apptv.com or any of these channels every Thursday.
So what are some things like, what's it like being a black woman in Boone?
I guess you could say it's kind of lonely. I'll say that because off top, Boone isn't very diverse when it comes to like racial. Like I'll say Boone's very like LGBTQ friendly. Like, you know, racial makeup wise, it's not really that diverse. So, you know, being black, being a trans woman, being a woman, I guess like, you know, it all falls down the line of like, you know, like how many there are personally. Because like, you know, just introduced me to Peach Rings, who is also on this episode. You guys should definitely go back and check out her. You know, finding other trans women here, like, you know, it really helps out because it gives me like a sense of community that I also feel like I'm missing here when it comes to like being black. So it's just like, you know, it's a very, I'd say Boone's like fairly accepting. I'll say it's really accepting, more accepting than like I thought, like than like other people told me. It has a lot of downsides, but overall it's been like a pretty good experience.
Yeah, I'm sure coming from New York and then coming here was a big shock.
Yeah. I mean, being there like recently for spring break and then just meeting up with like all my friends who I'll say we're almost like 100% alike, and then going to the Drain Gang show, like going to that show helped me like get a firm grasp that there are like multiple people in this world, in this country who are like a lot like me. So just like going from that to like, you know, where it's like 10 times less of like that many amount of people, like it does really suck. I do always consider like moving back, hopefully after college, but like I guess I'm kind of stuck here, so might as well make do.
What in Germany sparked your interest in fashion?
I guess it was just kind of seeing like German street fashion, because when I was in America, like I didn't really take note of fashion, but I guess when I went over there, like I saw people putting like genuine effort to like dress well. And I guess it was because it is more of a city environment. So rather than like, being like North Carolina where you have to have a car, it's not much like walking. It was more of a city environment. Like it's something you'd very find like in New York or something like that. So I guess just seeing like those people put effort into fashion and seeing Zara, H&M, like seeing those like massive stores really like drew me into it. I would say very like utilitarian. Sometimes like it's a fine mix between utilitarian and I guess experimental, because I do have like some pieces that some people would consider like, strange, like out of there, like if it scares me showing. For like example, this like Heaven by Marc Jacobs sweater I recently got while in New York, all the holes, like obviously no function to any of this, but it's just like such an interesting piece, so many colors. But then we'll switch from that to, let's say, this 1970s.
I get it.
Thank you. Actually, that too.
Okay.
Like, we can talk about this 1970s military flak jacket with insulated sleeves, and then there's a hidden hood in the back. So, if in case it starts raining or in case it's cold, it's a very like nice flak jacket. Or this Comme des Garçons Homme Plus 1988 reversible zipper jacket. The inside is quilted for like a more protective layer, and then like if you want to flip it out, you can, because like it is a reversible zip. And then the hoodie's like very like tight around the face, so like it keeps you nice and insulated. It's a fine line between both those things. And like, just even for example, it's like Junior Watanabe lace tunic from 2012. Like, no function, but like it just looks cool.
Right. So are you like a mix of high fashion and like
I'd say it's a fair mix between like high fashion, streetwear, utilitarian wear, tech wear, whatever you want to call it. Like it's a lot of just things pulled together.
So who are some of your fashion icons then?
People wise, like other like people who dress well, I just say like any of my social media friends. It's not really like, Gigi, well, Bella Hadid. Actually Bella Hadid is a perfect example of like some massive who enjoy how they dress. Bella Hadid, I guess you could say Marc Jacobs. I do enjoy the way he dresses. And then just overall, it's a bunch of like my friends on social media. No one, like no celebrities really. I'm like, oh, their fashion amazing. Like there are celebrities who dress amazingly, but like, nothing too much. A lot of it comes from like friends on Twitter or Instagram who like, I enjoy how they dress. But like designer wise, per the username, Comme des Garçons is probably like favorite brand of all time. Like here's a t-shirt from 1988. This was worn, I'm pretty sure this was worn by the staff at the runway show for the 1988 fall winter collection. I'm presuming that's a signature from one of the staff members, but it's like, this brand is like, getting into fashion, this brand was like my life. Not my life, but like my love personally. And like, just like everyone else, I kind of got introduced through like the little heart shoes, like the little Converse with the hearts on them. But then like, I started like diving deeper into like the history and like the enjoyment. And now I'd say I can make an entire Comme des Garçons outfit from like shoes to shirts, pants, hoodies, jackets, and hopefully in the future, underwear and socks.
So would you ever consider making your own clothes or being your own designer of clothes? Or
I very well considered that, but I just like wearing clothes. Like obviously I have ideas in mind, and there's certain piece of clothing I do want, like for certain like specifications, and I very well could make that. But sometimes I feel like everything's been done, but there's multiple ways to do it. Like a wheel. There's like, there's a wheel, but there's like a million ways to use a wheel. So it's like, it's finding that way to make something different. Such as like, I think it's a 90s brand called Bubba, but a lot of people do think it's like Pleach Please by Issey Miyake, which is like a recent line. So it's just like, but there's obviously differences like these pockets, how it drapes around. So it's like, could I make my own brand? Definitely, I've thought about it, but like just not too enticed by it. I'd much rather just like wear clothes and just like express myself through that way.
do you have any advice for people who want to dress better, or explore different things with their wardrobe? Do you have any advice for those people?
Stop giving a Yo, stop caring. Like I do very well care sometimes about like what people think of how I dress, but it's like, I've had multiple people come up to me and tell me like, oh my God, why do the toes look like that? Or, oh my God, why do the toes look like that? Or like, oh my God, why do the toes look like that? But it's like, it's because, well, A, technical reasons, but like B, it's like, it's something I was just drawn into. So find something like you enjoy and just like build off of that. Definitely. And like a lot of people don't say like, a lot of people say like brands don't matter. To an extent, I do feel like brands matter. So look at like a certain brand and like see if like that's your brand. Like I will most definitely consider Comme des Garçons like my brand. And like most recently, I'll consider Marc Jacobs having my brand just because like it fits so well with like how I want to look.
Welcome back to Can't Think Straight, guys.
Hello.
Oh my gosh.
What a great student, both of those student features. Weren't they awesome?
They were really amazing. I love highlighting artists in the Boone area, especially ones who are also students, because, the experiences and the thoughts that they have are very interesting right now because, as young adults, we are going through processes of, learning stuff about ourselves. And I really commend artists like Jade and Ramona who kind of know themselves and kind of, have a sense of
Identity and who they are and like what they
Yeah.
want to do with that.
and control.
Yeah, very much. And also really love, raising up women who have done great things in Boone. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was listening to featurings yesterday. I was like, it was very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Well, with that being said, as spring comes, as we all know, so does the rise in pollen.
Really?
Yes.
That yellow
and
stuff?
That yellow stuff, yep. And I know, especially when I was little, I did suffer from allergies and the occasional runny nose.
Really?
Yeah.
Quite often?
I did. It actually was so bad that my aunt had to make me take allergy shots at the pediatric place, which basically is them injecting a small amount of the thing that you're allergic to into your body to do therapy.
Yes, that actually reminds me, my sister had to get that done because growing up, I actually had like virtually no allergies. Yeah, my older sister had like, I think every single one. Like I think she had to take the brunt for all the other siblings, but she did that shot thing all on her back. Like I
Yeah.
think they did like 25
Yeah,
different shots.
that's what they test. That's what they do first, and then once they figure out like what you're really, really, really allergic to, then they start making the serum and stuff. So, but I was really, really, at least that's what I think how it happens. I mean, that's what happened with me, but
Yeah.
I was allergic to everything,
Dang.
especially Timothy weed. Timothy weed, which is like a type of grass. Oh my God! Don't even get me started.
Oh yes, I think I knew a couple people growing up who were allergic to that.
I'm still allergic to grass, so I can't roll around in it.
That's actually interesting. I think I was there at the operation actually giving shots. I think I did one in particular for you.
Oh,
was
really?
It was the heterosexual allergy.
And with that, I think that's a great time to wrap up this show.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, I really appreciate every other week y'all get to come on and see what we're up to, see what people that we know and are trying to uplift are up to, especially with this episode, a couple of our friends. And I just really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't wait to continue to do stuff like this and raise up queer voices even.
Yeah, thank you again to Ramona Barton and Jade Bass for just being great interviewees and guests and wanting to show off their talents and for everyone to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks so much for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about fashion. Okay, real quick. Nate, I would consider you very fashionable.
Thank you.
I mean, not right now, but.
Right, no, like literally not right now. Are you still recording on the Aja, right? Okay.
Yes. You can bring it back. Take it away, Penny.
Okay.
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Yeah.
This is giving very SpongeBob SquarePants right. Sorry.